Scrub, what it's hitting for. You tuned into the jokes. You know what it's hitting for. Nothing but the real. You heard me standing out. You heard me 10 toes down, baby. You know what it's hitting for.
It's touch for free nowadays.
I do it, man.
You see what I'm saying? You got troopers out here. They ain't got troopers out. I'm healed up. I'm walking, no lip. You know what's happening, huh? You know how I get on, yeah?
Like owning the house, like youngster being on the block, like we ain't never thought like, man, I'm gonna build my money up and go buy a house. Like that wasn't a thing for us. We just thought like my neighborhood was just all I thought about. You feel me? Like, oh man, I'm gonna get a whip and go up Willow Street and circle up St. Bernard.
I was always wondering, my overtime coming up, I'm like, man, why niggas just didn't move out the jets? Like I know niggas would get money, why they just didn't push out here?
Like it just didn't register like that back in the days. It was basically like, well, I'm gonna put on right here and dare somebody to mess with me. You feel me? Like I be seeing a lot of people like a nigga be like, they ain't scared to die. Like, man, that's some crazy shit to me. Like, man, I don't want to die. Like, fuck that. Like, and if a nigga toting a gun, you really scared to die. Like, man, let's keep it 100. Like, man, if I'm toting a gun around, that mean I'm scared to die. Like, let's keep it a buck.
Real talk.
Like, I ain't scared of a person, but I'm scared to die. Like, this is why I got my banker on me. You feel me?
Real talk.
Like, and I used to think like, you know, cause I got my banker on me, I couldn't get killed. But like, man, if a nigga got the ups on me, you can get killed regardless. So that's what made me be like, fuck it, I just gotta move away. You feel me? Or just get out the way. Or either I'm gonna tell you a story. Like I went to after I got hit up, I had crashed my car because I drove myself to the hospital. But I had tooted the highway up to my girl car up. You feel me? So right after I healed all the way up, we had to go buy another car, right? So I'm at I think a car lot. I think that's I'm gonna say that's Broad, but I think that's Marcy Motors. But the way the Broad, they got a bridge that you cross over, and you can look down like on Broad.
Yeah.
You're crossing over that bridge. So the car lot right there. But I spotted, you know, I'm gonna say I spotted one of my ops cars. You feel me? So I'm thinking I got my little girl with me and my banger. So I'm thinking like, oh, they probably spotted me and about to double back. So I'm rushing to bring my daughter into the dealership to give her to her mama, you feel me? So I run back out with my banger or whatever, and I'm like, you know, trying to scope the scene or whatever. And that's just was my moment for me, where I was like, oh man, I gotta go, man. Like I can't even enjoy my family, you feel me?
Real talk. And you know, the city's small, so that's every
the city's
day.
small, you feel me? So you gotta be on your shit every day.
Every single day, unless you inside.
Yeah.
Even then, you gotta walk outside because you don't know who creeping. You know what I mean? So you know, but all right. So let's start from the beginning. You know, you grew up with like a lot of different people around you, like all the legends for the most part. All y'all grew up. How was that like the motivation?
Like people, you know, you look at it right now, but back then it didn't feel like they was legends. You feel me? Because Slim couldn't book a show in the city. Like a lot of people don't know, Slim, before Slim got killed, he couldn't get a show in New Orleans.
Right before you got killed?
Yeah, right before he got killed. Nobody never booked Slim in New Orleans for a concert or nothing like that. That was parties that he threw on his own and just got paid off for the door or whatever. You feel me? Slim never got a book show in New Orleans. A lot of people don't know that. You feel me?
I ain't know that.
And Slim a whole legend in the city. You feel me?
And they act like they put on for me all the time. Real talk. That's crazy.
And you know, they stab it heavy, and everybody posts him and everything. Like, man, it's just crazy though. You feel me? And then, like, you know, basically that was our neighborhood. Like, a lot of people look at them like legends, but fuck, them the niggas who a nigga wanted to come up with and hang around. You feel me? Like, man, we have people in my neighborhood like Big Bo. Like, we used to get paid to fight each other and shit like that. You feel me? Like, my neighbor was. Well, fucking one of my best friends right now, he live out here in Atlanta, Cortez. Like, man, man, it's just so many of us. Like, they had a group back in the days called Bootleg, La Nino, and Jerker Man, and Six Shot was even part of that. Like, my whole upbringing, I've been up under Six Shot, so that drew me closer to Slim and Hype Enough Records. Will, you feel me? Chill Will. And fuck, Chill Will basically had a studio on the Parkway, so that's how I got connected to KLC. And then I started hanging, when KLC had his studio, I met Kernell from out the Cali, who do all the printing. Basically, Kernell print showers, TV, I'm gonna say not TV, t-shirts, everything for the whole city. You heard of him, CP
I heard,
Mel. Yeah, so once I met him, he was in with C Murder, and that was the No Limit thing. And then, you know, I knew this dude named Fino from the Gambino family. And he brought me into the North because he originally from out the North, you feel me? And that's how I started hanging with the Gotti boys and shit like that and doing music with them. But Four Wise and Slim, like, that was just always been family. We always been around each other. I'm off of Willow Street and he off of 6th and Willow, you feel me?
Okay, so what about Juve?
Juve, yeah, you know, that's the project. Like, as a youngster, you roam the whole project. Okay, yeah, but right. Juve had they got this guy named Rusty from out the TC. He like the #1 barber. I'm gonna say like he one of the top barbers in the project because you had Rashid on the new side, which is rock. You ever heard of Master P when he said Rashid about the Magnolia? Like he was the #1 barber on the new side, and you had Rusty on the old side. And Juve always used to cut hair with Rusty too. So
I seen you say Juve was a barber. I never knew that.
Yeah, Juve was a barber. Like he was one of the top barbers in the project. So whenever Rashid was packed, you had to go to Rusty. Nigga was gonna be laughing at you like, man, you got that bullshit ass haircut. And that's why you notice like everybody who rap, they always wanted to cut hair. Like No Limit Sam, he started cutting hair to get known too in the project on Belmont. But I used to always go to the TC to get my hair cut by Juve or either Rusty. So that's when Juve popped with the and that's basically, that's we gonna bounce around. And in the city, you wanted to be known as battle rapping, challenging niggas, and just let a nigga know, like, man, I really can hold my own weight. I done battled the whole bootleg crew, you feel me, by myself. Like, so that's how a nigga started hanging around.
Your punchlines crazy. I don't know, nigga told you, dog. Your punchlines.
Like, yeah, a lot of people don't. Like, I'm the king of punchlines in New Orleans. You feel me? Like, man, niggas don't just, a lot of people know that, but I just be, I don't think
I feel like a lot of people. I'm telling you, I'm 28 now. I've been watching y'all my whole life. Yeah. I grew up in Algiers, but I've been watching this shit my whole life. I'm telling you, nigga knew. Yeah. We knew.
Yeah, like a lot of people would tell me, like, man, you're a dog or whatever. That's how I met Gates too. Like right after the storm, I started recording it on Gates in the studio, Dead Game, and Gates just walked up to me and started rapping my rap, and I was like, man, what the hell? Like, and he was like, boy, you got them crazy punchlines. And when he was wanted, I wound up giving him a ride on. I think he was going somewhere, but I wound up giving him a ride up in Baton Rouge because we was leaving the studio at the same time, and that's how we developed our friendship. But that's all I wanted to be known for, punchlines, because of like Jada Kiss and shit like that. You feel me? When Jada Kiss come to the city, I spit it for Jada Kiss, but I never made that trip up to New York. You feel me? I think they filmed that Time Up video in New Orleans. Jada Kiss had a video called Time Up. He shot it in New Orleans, and that's when I met Groovy Lou too. Man, that nigga Jada Kiss, the first nigga I saw with the 645 BMW.
Yeah.
And he had a Bentley jogging suit. I remember like yesterday. You heard me? The first person I ever saw with a Bentley jogging suit, and he got it from this guy. He like a Rasta guy named Groovy Lou. He like one of the top people like in the industry for dressing artists. You feel me? Like I just always been around music.
All right. So what about like the? Cause I see like back in the day they used to throw like a lot like block parties and DJs. Did that contributed to like the music scene in New Orleans as far as like getting your music up?
That was the main thing. You had to grab the mic and hold it down on the Trigger Man beat. Like we automatically, anybody from New Orleans should automatically know how to rap on the Trigger Man beat. There's no way around that. You automatically should know how to rap on the Trigger Man beat because that's the only beat they play for you to rap on at the DJs.
Facts.
Like they got other artists like. They had Lil Chucky, like Magnolia Shorty. She rapped on the Trigger Man beat. Then you had Hot Boy Turk. Like that was our thing for the weekend. Sunday we gotta grab the mic and you gotta show everybody you can rap. You feel me? That's how I was able to go to the St. Thomas one time. Like when Deshaun, this dude out the 12th wall, started on Smoked Out Records. Like me being out the Magnolia, I could, you could go somewhere, but you really on edge because I'm from a number of different neighborhoods. So Derek brought me around to a DJ to rap on the Trigger Man beat. And that's how everybody out to St. Thomas started knowing me. So that's how I really got a pass to go back there and hang back there and go to the DJs and rap on the mic because of BG Derek and shit like that. And
how you ended up, like how y'all linked up?
Who, me and BG Derek?
Yeah.
Oh man, BG Derek, that just was my nigga from Jump because we all went to school together. Me, him, Turk, all of us went to Faux shit.
Okay.
So, and then I was already hanging around, stunning them already from Juvenile, from just popping up in Gangsta, you feel me, and Hot Beezel. Because Hot Beezel and Gangsta off of Willow Street. So I basically used to follow them to the studio. Every time they leave, I won't go too, you feel me? So that's how I was able to get around Baby. And then, I knew Kedrick, Bryce, and, Lack and Bryson, you feel me, from off of Saratoga.
I see, I was watching an interview the other day with Gangsta, and he was saying how Master P took the Hot Boys name and stuff like that, where it really came from.
Like, that really came from basically Gangsta, the Hot Boys. That was the original Hot Boys. Beezer, Dooney, Stone, Giggity, and Mosquito, Sterling. It was basically like a whole neighborhood crew, just get money.
So it wasn't just 4 or 5 people. I always thought it was like 5 people. Yeah, I thought it was
way more than 5 people.
See, I thought it was like 5 niggas, 5 of the top niggas in the city.
It was always, them was the people to look up to, you feel me?
Yeah.
And the St. Thomas, you got to give props to the St. Thomas too, because they basically started for Uptown, they basically started niggas to want to get money. You got a nigga like Bub, and they got them Benzes and shit like that. That motivated other hoods to start copping Benzes and shit like that. Like, man, it done been nice where you saw Bub and this whole crew, including Taylor Hankton over Josephine, go to House of Blues. Everybody got the mink jacket and the mink hat. So that was motivation for me as a youngster. Like, man, I gotta get some more money. You feel me?
I don't feel like we got it. Like niggas don't got that type of shit to look up to anymore.
I think they missing that, or either people get killed before they really all the way blossom in our city now because it's so small. Like you got a lot of people from off the West Bank too, from Algiers that get money and people don't know about it. You feel me? Like the Fisher, I really fuck with the Fisher. I got the Mac class from out the Fisher. I know them. That's family. You feel me? So everywhere I go, I always find myself looking up to somebody from a different neighborhood, or just getting information, or just respecting different perspectives. You feel me?
So you signed the Smoke Dawg records?
No, I didn't sign. I never ever signed because I was too young. You feel me? I never ever signed. But Deshaun always treated me like he wanted me to sign. You feel me? But Derek was the type of person Derek always liked it on expensive things, you feel me? So we'll call Day and be like, man, they got a concert at the State Palace or the Riverboat Hallelujah, you feel me? And Deshaun to come and meet us at the mall. That's when Macy's had New Folk in the Insider connected to the Superdome.
Man, I seen that. I didn't know they had a mall connected to the Superdome.
Man, that's crazy. Man, a lot of people don't know that. Man, that was the mall to go to. The mall connected to the Superdome, Macy's and Nouveau. That's where you go and get your Kuja jogging outfit from. Iceberg. They was one of the first people to have Iceberg clothing.
So people from across the road weren't going to Oakwood Mall?
No, they wasn't going to Oakwood. They was coming on that side of town to get the freshest shit. Iceberg and Gucci and...
My whole life, I thought damn,
and Kuja and shit like that.
Never for the mall when they got the money.
Hell no.
I never knew they had a mall right now.
Nouveau always been the shit in the city. Nouveau always had that exclusive. And we used to just meet Deshaun and Deshaun buys Iceberg and shit like that to go to the concerts and shit, you feel me? But that was the shit back in the day. State Palace and Riverboat Hallelujah. That's what you used to live for on the weekend for concerts and that shit, you feel me?
Whatever.
That was on Riverboat Hallelujah, and State Palace was on Canal Street. Okay. And Riverboat Hallelujah was on 2-lane.
That's not what Speed is,
I can't remember. I know it was somebody else probably could confirm where it used to be at, you feel me? But that was the shit. That's what we did. That's what we did on the weekends, you feel me? Concerts and shit like that.
So you said you had a movie coming out in 1994 in New Orleans?
NOLA 94. NOLA 94. It's shot, NOLA 94.
And it's with Video Wayne?
It's shot by Video Wayne, but it's directed by me, and some of it written by Video Wayne too.
What is it about exactly?
I don't want to give you too much of the movie, but New Orleans is known for corrupt cops and shit like that. If you look back into people like Antoinette Frank, basically she was like a police officer that pulled the whole robbery off, you feel me? Like, a lot of people don't...
Wait, I think I heard she, it ended up bad. They shot her.
They basically robbed some Chinese people at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And she was the police, so they opened the door for her and shit like that. She had a key to the restaurant and everything, you feel me?
Yeah,
So, a lot of people don't, we've been through so much into New Orleans. It's a lot of stuff that we be missing as youngsters that we missed out on. We don't even talk about. It's just New Orleans always had it's always been a good city of music, jazz, and shit like that. But greed always played a part too. You feel me?
I think that it still play a part, especially in like music and just getting money. Period.
Yeah.
That said, just I don't know. Nino said I was talking to Nino like, man, we got demons down here. Like you know, it's the energy. You know?
It's just the energy in the city. Like once you get past shit, you know, it used to be like when you get the Claiborne is drama. But shit, the East is like Uptown now. The East like the West Bank.
Yeah.
Man. Shit like that. You don't know where it can happen to you at night. You feel me?
Yeah,
you ain't really safe nowhere now.
So when I say 33 St. Charles Street, the significance of that, what is it?
Oh man, I hate that they got rid of that. Like that was really a landmark to the whole Cash Money movement, and that's where everybody wanted to go at. Like man,
What building is that now?
that's it's a hotel now. It's actually a hotel. It's right behind. That's what that's Paudrit's and that's like Paudrit's and what that is. That's Paudrit's and I think like that's probably Paudrit's and St. Charles.
I think
like
I know
you know where the white hotel that sit out on the corner.
Yeah.
Paudrit's. It's like right as soon as you go down the side street, it was that building right there on your left. And you go up in there and you catch the elevator to the 3rd floor, you feel me? And that's where they used to record at. That's where you hung at and shit like that, you feel me? 33 St. Charles.
And you talked about a time where Birdman was like, y'all know what y'all did.
Y'all know what the fuck y'all did, man. Yeah. Basically, that was our hustle, you feel me? We used to always Bird was freely with money, you feel me? Bird the type of person, you don't gotta even iceberg from that. Bird be like, go get me a bottle of water. You go get the bottle of water, Bird shoot you a whole $100. So you willing to do anything for Bird, like Bird gonna pop a nigga off. So we always hanging around. Nigga go get $100, go to the mall or either go back to the neighborhood, buy everybody candy and shit. This when we real young, man. We like 13, 14 year old and Bird basically already a millionaire, you feel me? Or either we wanted to rent a car. Bird had some type of car. They had a rental place that was on St. Charles. You could rent luxury cars there. Before this luxury thing got known and shit, renting luxury cars, Bird had a place on St. Charles Street by Two-Row Hospital. It was like a compound. You could go up in there and you just rent a luxury car like Bubble Eye, Lexus, Vipers and shit like that. So we used to always just want to hang around and Derek get up under his uncle and be like, man, rent me a car. And he'll go rent him a car, a Bubble Eye, Lexus shit, and we just ride around all day, go to all the clubs. But we was basically supposed to pass out CDs and put posters up late at night and shit, but we wasn't doing that, you feel me? And Bird would basically give us like a band or 500 a piece or some shit like that to do that. If we weren't doing that, we just go stick the bitches anywhere and ride around. You know everybody gonna come up to a Bubble Eye Lexus in the neighborhood. Anyway, so we really ain't have no hard job to do, you feel me? And I think back in the G, I was like, Derek stole the money from David. Like a lot of people took it as like, we stole money from Stunner. Nah, it wasn't even stealing money. We just was like, kept the money, you feel me? Because he had already gave us the money to pay for the shit. But we already had fucked the money off already, you feel me? Because I think he had the limo service for like a whole week, and it was time to pay the dude, and he was like, man, y'all give him this with the envelope or whatever when it's finished. But man, youngsters, we gonna do what we do, you feel me? We went shopping the next day, and then Derek disappeared over. You heard me? That nigga like, man, I'm keeping all this here, you feel me? Derek always was a giver, you feel me? Like if he see you hurting and he got something, he gonna pull up and give it to you. Wacko the same way, you feel me? Like when Wack popped, man, I was one of the #1 people that was around Wack, you feel me? Wack was showing love to everybody. Like I never ever been a time where Wacko was like, nah, when he had something. From his Benz to his Lack truck, everything, you feel me? Like Juve would give it to you, you feel me? Like fuck, Juve done had the lamb. Like for Juve to let me use his Lamborghini car, like man, that's incredible, you feel me? You know I had to have trust. He respected me some type of way, you feel me? Like when Juve really, one of the reasons I moved to Atlanta too, is Juve stayed he stayed up north, like off of Roswell, Mount Vernon. Right after the storm, he was up here. And he basically made everybody convert to Atlanta, you feel me? But then he wound up dipping out. That's when he had the Lamborghini, he had the Rover, and he had got a new vet, you feel me? But like while he out of town, I had them whips. I'm checking his house, making sure his dog good and shit like that. So I'm out here riding the lamb in Atlanta, you feel me? And then you have people like Network who got killed. like Network was cool with Jazzy, Fade, Loon, and we was getting beats from Jazzy and shit like that. So that's how I got known in Atlanta.
So what you think the difference is between Atlanta and New Orleans? Like the main difference?
The main difference is probably when I first got here, you could actually go somewhere without a banger. You feel me? Like it wasn't like you stood out so much here. You feel me? Like you could see a Lamborghini like every day here. You feel me? And just in New Orleans, if you see a Phantom or a Rolls Royce, it's only probably like 3 people who you know who got them. You feel me? Like you feel me? And you know it's just a problem when you got that in New Orleans and you the only one with it.
Yeah. So you feel like ATL is a must-have to market in?
Wise is like what music.
I feel like in general, if you're doing business and you wanted to go
like basically like you know at one time you had to fly to New York to sign contracts and shit like that. You don't have to do that no more. You basically come to Atlanta. But now that it's so independent, you don't really need to sign a contract no more as an artist. You just got to get you a man like put all your bread on promotion. And you could go with one single and you just probably pop, you feel me? And for you need basically influencers now and shit like that. Or your best friend who already popped in music to play your music and you'll be good from that. Like you really don't, you just gotta really have a hot song. And you just gotta put your bread out with promote.
I think the same thing. It's really not even about the song for real. Yeah. Like it's how you sell the song.
Yeah, how you sell it, yeah. Cause you know, like at first you thought you needed a record deal to pop. Like you could be getting 34,000 streams a month and live off of that. Like, you know, fuck, you monetize your YouTube, fuck, you good, you feel me? Like, I eat off of my YouTube, you feel me? Like, I ain't really tripping off no record deal or nothing anyway. I'm a grown man now, you feel me? Like, fuck, I done connect all my shit to motherfucking Spotify and re-release it. And it make it look new, because now you got people in Greece that can see it, people in motherfucking Thailand, you got people in motherfucking the UK.
And that's the ones who really go look.
And that's the ones who buy it. Yeah, like I dropped a single before and my single was like popping in UK more than it was popping in the States. Because you got places on websites like TuneCode, when you read the strips, they tell you where the song getting played the most at. And it shows the country or whatever. But you know, by me traveling too, I met a lot of people on the music scene traveling and shit like that. I done been way in Dubai to an OT Jenner's concert and shit, you feel me? And passing
You been in Dubai?
Yeah.
How was?
Oh man, Dubai, nice as a motherfucker. Like when I went to Dubai, I thought I was gonna be spending my own money. But the person that I knew over there, he basically treated me to everything that I needed to do. Fuck, I ain't basically spent no money when I went, you feel me?
What the price is like over there?
Oh, the prices on everything a little more expensive than the U.S., but it's shit crazy. Like, but the one thing I can say about it, they don't really care about materialistic things. You feel me? Like, you know how we be like, we need Gucci and all of this. Like, they don't even they too. It's a lot of religious stuff over there. So they basically be in robes and stuff like that. But I know one thing, like S550s and shit like that, they use that as cabs in Dubai. That's a cab, yeah, a cab. Here we cherish a S550, and that shit a cab in Dubai.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, I travel a lot. I basically like to travel a lot just to get experience, and you know, being from New Orleans, you know, everywhere we go, we can get love regardless, because we stand on respect. You feel me?
Real talk.
I done been to over 8 different countries now, you feel me? Like March that just passed, I was due to the pandemic, I didn't go to Greece, you feel me? But that's my next step. I'm gonna fuck with Greece probably as soon as everything open back up, you feel me? So
I wanna go to Greece too.
Man, no, Thailand was nice, bro, but I'm gonna say Italy was like the best place that I ever been. Because I did the whole completed it. I did Rome, I did Venice, I did Pompeii, I did the Ibiza where the Leaning Tower at, and all that shit was nice.
Yeah, you done did Rome in Italy.
Yeah, and then you know, of course, you want to do the gondola too. You feel me? You know that ride through the gondola. Man, Bangkok was pretty good too because I did the float market in Bangkok. In Bangkok, it's like you go grocery shopping on a boat.
Yeah.
And they hook like, you know how your Chinese food or Thai food, they hook it up right in front of you while you on a boat. Like they got a stick that they gotta pull the boat in. Like they throw a stick out and they hook it onto the boat and they pull you to them if you want to buy something from it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
So this is a floating market. It's up in Bangkok. But on Phuket, like that's all the islands and shit like that. That shit over there amazing. You know, I think that's where they shot some of the James Bond movie at.
In Thailand?
In Thailand, yeah. I think everybody should experience outside of the country, outside of the U.S., you feel me? Especially for New Orleans people, you feel me?
I think we need to experience like outside our city first.
Yeah,
We'd be surprised like when you go other places and you see like how much love you get and how different it is.
And being that New Orleans was once part of, I think it was once part French or something like that, so we need to experience that anyway, you feel me?
Real talk. So, what's your relationship with 21 Savage? I know you said you got a good relationship.
That's family, you feel me? Triple C's on 21 Savage, Tip on Lil Howard. Lil Howard just dropped a video called Freak. He got some new shit he dropped. Man, that's basically just family. That's my ATL family. I'm gonna just say that. I'm Slaughter Gang, you feel me? I might as well just say it for Lotto Savage and fuck, you know, fuck on Moody and 21 is family. So, you know, fuck, that's just family. That's just my regular partners, you feel me? And Tip he working on his new album. And then Lil Howard just been grinding, you feel me? Like, that's just, man, I can't even say enough about them, you feel me? And then, you know, I met them through my partner, Triple C's, you feel me? And ever since I met them, they've just been nothing but 100 with me, you feel me?
So what advice would you give to somebody leaving New Orleans, say they coming to like Atlanta or Los Angeles and they're trying to network?
Just don't put your pride in front of your hustle. Like, man, be open to meet people. Don't feel like you dick riding somebody, you feel me? Because you get a lot of people saying, oh man, you dick riding. Or when you see somebody over there, you don't want to go holler because you don't want to make it like,
you're a fan.
You're a fan, but you don't want to come off like you dick riding to your partners or to the person that's standing next to you. But you gotta handle business. Like your position in here, you ain't gonna never get nowhere in a comfort position.
All right, you feel like it's a thin line between like dick riding and like promotion and hustling, especially on like Instagram and stuff like that. So I feel like I think I'll reach out.
For me, I just don't. I'm gonna say dick riding is when you sign to an artist or you start hanging with an artist and then you just scream out fuck their ops name or something like that and you really don't even know the person who they beefing with. Like y'all ain't had no interaction or nothing. Like that's dick riding. That's basically clout chasing. You feel me?
What about when nigga be like, well, you know, that's my partner, so whatever come with it?
But that you first gotta build that relationship. You feel me? You gotta let it already come to you. But if you just meeting somebody the next day and then be like, man, I'm smoking on this here type of pack, man, that ain't no honey. That's you trying to prove your loyalty to him to get what you want to get out of him. You feel me?
Real talk.
Like I know as a youngster, we all been that perk. But you know, everybody want to prove their loyalty, so you be so trigger happy and want to do this to show the person that you about that business out. Shit like that. Like that shit corny to me. Like you got to stand up on your own first. You feel me?
Real talk.
Like I don't give a fuck. Like if we in a spot and a nigga disrespect my partner, oh yeah, it's gonna go down. But I ain't about to go out my way to be like make that my beef or whatever. And we just building.
I feel that. So what about like what you think the difference now is between the old New Orleans and the new New Orleans?
It's just it's like I just hope that like artists like get a little more content, study dropping songs that's dissing each other. Like we get it, like you know we got beef in our city, we know that. But like they making the whole music scene all street shit now. Like you feel me? Like it ain't even about pulling up with your broad dropping something for the women no more. Like they making it all like I'ma just diss the ops on this song every time. Like what a concept, man. Like what we doing? Where we going with this here? Like we ain't even rapping for outside of we ain't even rapping for outside of New Orleans no more. Like
you
it's basically
outside your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like
you can't even go to Spades with that for real.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah, you can't even go to Spades. Like you feel me? Like I understand like a nigga be beefing or whatever, but come on, man. At the same time, like have a different concept. You gotta talk about something. Like, man, it's just like sucking my dick and we fucking and that's it in the songs now. You feel me? Like, well, even with some of my homeboys, I be like, man, I fuck with your music, I fuck with you, but like, come on, man, you gotta drop something else. You feel me? Like, don't keep dissing the ops. Like, and then in some cases, you got some people more up than the person they beefing with. Now they just flossing it in their face. You feel me? And then you could basically leave that, say like that one artist Pop, right? He moving out the neighborhood, but he still got younger people who singing his songs or whatever in the neighborhood. One of his old partners, they sit and duck now. Like niggas swinging on him, knocking niggas off, you feel me? That's sitting ducks. You ain't even feeding them back up. I don't want to say too much on camera, but you gotta feed the homeless too. You feel me?
Nah, I get what you saying.
You gotta feed the homeless. If you gotta show up, if you live in New Orleans and you gotta show up in Tennessee, man, you should be able to rent a bus to everybody going at the same time. You shouldn't be leaving nobody behind. Because if you leave him out there on the set, when the nigga spit, he the only one out there. He gone. Now you coming back to rest in peace. This here. Man, come on, man. Niggas ain't slide like that no more.
What about this? You take him and y'all get caught up and y'all all going to Tennessee because he a hothead too. Like you still gotta know how to move too. You know, you can't take everybody.
Too. Yeah, you can't take everybody. And if you ride way to Tennessee, dog, I'm pretty sure 30 niggas, 20 niggas deep, you gotta have everybody on the same accord with their temperature too. Like you can't go to a whole nother city on some, oh, we run this bitch too, you feel me? You gotta go on some humble shit like, oh, we here, but we'll whoop one of y'all ass. Like, nigga be acting like a gun is everything. Like man, like you gotta be able to fight too. When you get locked up, nigga come for your store, what you gonna do? You ain't got no baby in jail. I done saw a nigga done had 3 bodies on the street. He rolled in jail on a murder. And here a nigga taking his store. Nigga done sit on his bed and be like, man, you know when store come, you gotta pop me off. Like, how that go? You was just on the street with 3 bodies. Like,
man, I gotta ask about this. What's up with the sitting on the bed?
The sitting on the bed that's just basically you don't sit on no nigga bone anyway in jail. You feel me? You shouldn't even be that comfortable with a nigga. You feel me? I don't really know deep about that, but man, ain't no way you roll into jail sitting on a nigga bunk unless we grew up together. You feel me?
I ain't thinking nothing. I just went sat. I'm talking to my partner. I was gonna sit down. Dude come stand over me like, I'm looking at that nigga like, man, what's wrong with this nigga? Like, you ain't supposed to sit on dude's bed and shit. I'm like, I ain't know. But you know, if you chilling with your partner, you would chilling with your partner.
You learn something every time.
Yeah.
It's something new every time. You feel me? Even on the street, it's something new. Like you can't do certain shit. You feel me? Like you talk to a nigga a certain type of way to come off his gate. You feel me?
You will talk.
I just hate that the whole scene now. Like say like you up, right? You get somebody out your neighborhood, you go to jail and come home, somebody out your neighborhood to stop you from popping, they'll be like, oh, you a rat now. Like, where's the paperwork? Like, that's the new little thing now, put rat law out on a nigga. Like, I don't respect that. Like, if you don't got no paperwork, no way you should be talking about a nigga or a rat. Like, I don't respect that at all.
Name. You gotta really show
you got to show paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, if you see me anywhere on the street and you tell me a nigga a rat, don't even tell me no nigga a rat if you ain't got the paperwork, if you ain't got proof. We gotta stop that. We need to stop that right now. ASAP. Like, I hate that shit. Cause nigga be down playing real niggas on some, well, he a rat shit cause he competition and hustling. You feel me? Oh, you fucking with that rat? Like, nah, nigga, you got paperwork? Where the paperwork at?
Alright, what if, cause sometimes to rap you don't really need paperwork either. You really could kind of put them people on the trail without actually having, you know that.
Yeah.
So what about that when you like, man, do put the people on?
You got that. You know, nigga got to know that too. Like, eventually, something gonna come out where you know who sent them or whatever. You feel me? Like, that's different. But far wise as a nigga going do time and come home and then y'all still saying you're right. Like, you gotta present paperwork. You feel me? Cause now man, feds even snatching petty charges in the city. You feel me? So, man, if a nigga catching 36 months and you got a safety valve, you home within a year, you halfway house in 6 months. You feel me? And the nigga put the law out, man, that nigga rat, that nigga came home too fast. When in actuality, that nigga never had a gun charge, no charges, no prior charge. Like, weed ain't no serious charge, you feel me, for a nigga for you to go to federal court and don't get the safety valve. Like, a lot of niggas don't be knowing perks about federal when you go into federal jail and everything, you feel me? Like, you get a safety valve. Say, like, you ain't got no prior charges, no felonies or nothing, and you get caught up in, like, you might catch a, what I have to say, 1 to 5 on distributing 1 to 5 kilograms. You probably catch 36 months off of that and home within a year, you feel me? Because you ain't got no prior charges. It's the safety valve. How's that? It's the safety valve, you feel me? So you gonna come home quick. But you know, where I would sit at, they gonna be like, oh man, he a rat. Nah, man, he ain't had no prior charges and his punch didn't go above for him to get more time than that day. You feel me?
Okay, yeah, I feel like that is different.
And you know, also like when you was telling me about how I knew 21, I also knew 21 throughout. Me and him had a mutual friend named Johnny B. Rest in peace, Johnny B. You feel me? That's it. That was his best friend.
Okay.
Me and him was also cool. You feel me?
Yeah, I heard about that was when he
that's when he got shot with Johnny B.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Johnny B. Shout out to the whole Glenwood, the East Side.
So what would you tell an artist like tap into the streets too much as opposed to the music?
It just don't make no sense to me. Like you know, everybody wanna be tough now. You feel me? Like man, that shit dumb to me. Like either you gonna be a stand-up nigga or you ain't. You feel me? All that extra tough shit gonna get you out of here fast. It's like a nigga in a rush to get killed. You feel me?
Real talk.
Yeah, like man, it's crazy to me how shit be going on. I look at Instagram, but sometimes you just gotta pass some shit up. You feel me? Like I don't be like shit so crazy to 1 minute 2 artists be hanging together, right? Niggas do songs and everything, and the next month they be beefing because of the situation didn't work out in one of them favor. Like that's stupid to me. Like I'm not about to get caught up in that. You feel me? Like just because this is my home and you introduced me to, you shouldn't have introduced me to him then. You feel me? If you ain't want me to fuck with him, you shouldn't have introduced me to him. If he ain't do no ratting shit, I'm not about to get caught up between y'all two having a situation. You feel me?
Real talk. And I feel like we should normalize not saying nigga beefing just because we don't fuck with each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And they got a lot of new artists from the city that I listen to their music and I enjoy their music. It's just like you don't know who, like say like I might like a picture on Instagram for this person, but his enemy probably be like, oh man, that nigga fucking with that guy, you feel me? Or they don't respect it, you feel me? Like, man, that shit dumb to me. Like, I'm older than y'all, you feel me? I'm gonna do what I want, regardless as a man, anyway, you feel me? But it's like a lot of popular artists from the city can't even get along and do a song together. That's crazy.
I hate it. Real talk, I hate it.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Like, man, y'all two together, y'all three together would basically set the city off to where you don't have to come to Atlanta to get signed no more. They'll come looking for y'all.
So you see a future in New Orleans, or where we like the music scene grows to the point where we just as well, if not better than Atlanta?
I think. What you mean, like better than Atlanta?
I mean, as far as like people
like
come there to blow,
like just a landmark for the music.
Yeah.
New Orleans already a landmark for the music. We just ain't capitalizing or we accepting anything. Like I just saw the dude on The Verse, Hot Kills It, and made the Stallion video. You feel me? A lot of people don't know he was in that video. Like they should have at least gave him a shout out or something like that. He got to take more than what he got. You feel me? And you got people like Bounce is a thing in New Orleans. Like every song right now is a sample of Bounce. You feel me? You got Big Frida. Like he's a Frida artist. Regardless, at the end of the day, we got to take out people personalities and just do good business. You feel me? Like it's no way that we should. As a real stand-up person, you shouldn't want to do a song with Frida because of Frida's lifestyle. That's his lifestyle. But that's Big Frida at the end of the day, you feel me? Like, we all know Big Frida coming up. If you know you don't live like that, that don't...
What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem, you feel me? Like, and you got Big Frida, you got Magnolia Room, you got Av Girl Drika. Like, they running the bounce scenes right now. You got Black and Mild. Black and Mild got a Grammy and everything, you feel me? We should be running to work with him, you feel me? Like you got Fifth Wall Weed, which you getting his flowers now that he passed away. But you got other artists, new upcoming artists on what her name is, Super Bad. Then you got I think her name Fine CS or something like that. C Fine Ass. Then you got Treated. I'm tripping. I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Treated. Then you got Iceberg. You got Daniel Harless. You got Lil Beezel. Man, Weed Junkie so fire. I think Weed Junkie just what I can say. Like Weed Junkie just had a fire ass song. I'm still on that song, but I think he putting out the music too fast. Like he really have hits, but he just be sliding them on top of each other.
He do.
Cause the new thing is, you feed the streets or whatever. But some of his songs be too good to just eat up in 1 week's time. You feel me? Like sometimes you just gotta let a song marinate a whole month. Then you got Kenneth Brother, and you got another dude, I forgot his name. damn, I forgot his name, man. They got so many artists, man, that's cold-blooded and we just don't digest them long enough. Even though, you know, the new thing is feed the streets, we just overfeed them, you feel me? Like sometimes you just gotta slow down.
So you feel like we should tap into the more of the bounce sound anyway, since it come from our sound?
Yeah, like I think every New Orleans artist should be able to do a bounce. Like I think the name of the song is Water. What's the name of the dude?
Oh, Jizzle, Stone Cold
Man,
Jizzle.
that man there,
Yeah.
he don't even really gotta do music. You feel me? That man personality is so fire, bro. Yeah, bro.
You can hear his personality in his songs though. That's the crazy
Yeah,
part.
like man, I really fuck with dude. I really be listening to that nigga like that. I listened to one of his songs on, I forgot who put me on him. Darren put me on him. And I just started watching him on YouTube. It's like, this man really a character and he really go around having fun. Like, man, I fuck with dude music.
You seen, he made the news for the
Larry Monroe thing, yeah. Like this dude really good like type person, character for the music and everything. Like man, just if he keep doing that, bro, and just get a little more promotion or whatever, I think he bound to pop. Like man, I fuck with homie whole little movement. You feel me? Like I done been looking at this shit and start laughing. Like man, this man you're crazy. You feel me?
So you think what I about to say?
Then you got Toki Hefner, you got Nino, you got Mighty Lee. You got Derek Little Brother, you feel me? No big dog. That nigga been dropping some shit, you feel me? And he really can rap. Like, you know how some people be kin to a person who do music and really can't spit. But like, man, that man really can spit, you feel me? You got T.Y. with Currency Jet Life. You feel me? Like, I think we just don't, it's so many everybody rapping out till we just don't we not even able to show each other love, you feel me?
You think it's more too like, the city's so small and you see these people, you literally grew up with these people,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like,
Yeah,
oh, that's just T.Y.
Like,
you
Free
know.
Water them got a whole movement too. Like I think sometimes you got to take yourself away from the scene. I think the music industry might take a good hit for New Orleans once Mardi Gras and we able to do crowd gathering again. You feel me?
What about like doing shows in the city? You think we should do like more local shows in the city, especially for like Mardi Gras?
We should automatically do shows. I think
Atlanta,
we should.
they do shows like they fly artists here and stuff like that. Even if it's a lounge,
Yeah, I seen Leaf Ward do a lot of shows in New Orleans.
He do.
And you know he coming to town because he getting paid. You feel me? How come we can't pay each other like that? You feel me? We gotta put some respect on our own self. You feel me? Like if you know the man got a hot song, man, just rock with the man's song. Knock all the other shit off, like you don't want them to pop before. Like man, I say this all the time, like if I get a Lamborghini, of course today I'm gonna enjoy the Lamborghini, right? But in a month's time, in New Orleans, I'm gonna be the drove from the Magnolia to the St. Bernard over 10,000 times. Like what I'm gonna do, get out my car and be like, ooh boy, I've been killing shit. Ain't nothing like when your other homie got a Lamborghini too. So you could be like, bitch, we just murdered the scene, you feel me? Like I'm not one of them type of people where I enjoy shit by myself. I just can't do that. I want my nigga to have a Lamb or a Ferrari too with me, so we could be like, so a year down the line we could be like, bitch, we fucked it up that night, bitch, we killed the parking lot. Like I don't think I need a million. Like you know, like a lot of people like they need to be a millionaire. Like I don't think I need to be a millionaire to have a good life. I do what I want right now.
Right.
I don't have to get up in the morning and just go to work because I have to. Like I'm good. I'm comfortable. Like man, it's some shit out here that I'd be like, oh, that's a bad buy. Like, I can't just go to the Phantom lot and be like, I'm going to get a Phantom. It's $200,000. I want to be able to do that, but that ain't something I would do sensibly. My wife would be like, man, you don't need that shit. What you going to get that for? You feel me? Like, even though I'm in a situation where I could probably go get the shit, but I'll be blowing money a month. Like, what I need that for? Right. What I'm going to do? Like, what I'm going to do in the bitch? Like, ride around the block. And that's it, and park it back again. Like we be putting a lot of props on material shit. Like that shit don't really mean nothing. You feel me?
Right.
Like how long you gonna enjoy a Lamb before you be like, well, I need to put rims on it. Every new car you got, you enjoyed it with probably a month when you got it, right? But as soon as you got that, but you had something in your head you wanted to do to it.
Oh, I can't wait to put some sound or whatever you want to do to that.
Yeah, that's how it's always gonna be. Like it's always a step. Like man, you get an RE. You're gonna be like, oh, I love this RE. Let me paint that bitch. Then you're gonna be like, oh, it's time for me to get rid of that. Now, you feel me?
I ain't played this.
You gotta have somebody sensible next to you, though. You feel me? Like my wife, that type of person. You feel me? Like I just was looking at an RE. You feel me? Tweaking to get it. You feel me? My wife was like, "Yeah, you could get it, but what you rushing to get it for? Like it ain't gonna do nothing but have that look. Like everybody gonna be like I'm eating now and make me a target."
You feel like that even in Atlanta? Like it's the same?
Yeah.
Even when like, cause since I've been out here, I've been seeing like, man.
Yeah, you know, Atlanta is basically like, man, Atlanta, this one thing I can say about Atlanta, like you ain't gonna never be just the only one with something. Like you can get a lamb truck, they gonna have somebody that already got that big vinyl wrap and shit and pull up next to you and be like, "What's up, bro?" I see that video early, but you ain't just about to be like slapping the whole city. Like it'll never happen here. You feel me? Like, but in New Orleans, by it being so small, like if you get a rate for something like that, it's only probably like 2 people that could come back and slap you. Like currency gonna spin the bit and be like, "What's happening?" Or you might see Jack Sutton. And you know how long Jack Sutton been getting money? Like how I'ma compete?
Real tough.
Like man, Jack Sutton been around. He done saw everybody in the game. So then in the city, you don't want that type of swag with you anyway. Like you just basically a target because somebody always gonna walk the fine line. Like let's get him. You feel me?
Real talk, nigga don't even want shorty call.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah.
It's different. You'll post that bit on your drive.
Like out here, you know it's
yeah.
public. You feel me? Like I pull up, park my car, it'll be like, oh man, that's just all right. You feel me? You feel me? That's just a coupe, Infinity coupe or whatever. You know, that's nothing. You feel me? But in the city, nigga be like, man, they got an R8 in the parking lot. You feel me?
Real talk.
Yeah, man, that is, man.
Real talk. So, speaking about that, we're talking about money and stuff. What about like for artists, like how you say you don't need $1 million, but you know what to do with however much money you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got
know how to survive.
Yeah.
You feel me? We just got to get out of the habit of materialistic shit. Like, you feel me? I know you want to wear Gucci and all that. I don't got to wear that every day. You feel me? Sometimes you might spurge a little bit onto that, but I don't really. I just want to make sure that my daughter them good. You feel me?
Real talk.
Like man, and I want to make sure my partners them good. And sometimes we enjoy money too much to where you don't think about if something happened to you. Man, you gotta bind out. You gotta have a lawyer online. Like your cousin might get into some shit on some self-defense, and you still need a lawyer on self-defense type shit.
Real talk.
You feel me?
That's the shit. Nigga, like we don't talk about that.
Yeah, like
we don't never talk about.
I don't get that. Like nigga don't think they can make a mistake. You feel me? Like even with doing positive shit, some negative gonna come from somewhere. Like basically say like I basically could be fixing up a property right in a neighborhood because everybody's shooting for that buy back the neighborhood now. But I'm pulling up in that bitch around in a G-Wagon. Of course they're gonna be like, man, who that is? And want to break in the house or some shit. You feel me? So you still gotta look at it like that too. Like shit could happen. You could be an all the way straight nigga and shit happen. You feel me?
Yeah, that is true. Fact, I appreciate you for pulling up.
Oh man, come on, man. It's love, man. Anytime, anything you need, homie, just hit me and it's love, you heard?
Fact. Tell them where they can find you and stuff like that.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, anything at Magnolia Levee, Magnolia, on Levee. Or either you can follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube at Magnolia Levee. No, my bad, I'm sorry. My YouTube is I am Magnolia Levee.
Fact. Like I said, I appreciate you for pulling up.
Oh man, come on, man. You already know what he's hitting for.
Fact.
Stop.
Special night, sparklers on top of the champagne, part in the Red Sea. They coming to me. Jesus shirts LV, Morris light brown, boots and weapon wiped down. Silence, welcome home Jacob. Bye.